Thursday, February 6, 2020. It's all about Twitter today. Twitter had a big day based off of its earnings today. It shot through that 200 day moving average. And you can see that here on the daily chart. Gapped up in the pre-market. And today for me was a day of what could have been. I made a little bit of money today. But again, I didn't stick to my rules, my new rules. Basically, I've been changing up how I trade, but I could have had a really great day. Twitter, I'm not going to get upset about not getting Twitter because it was moving a lot in the pre-market. It was tough for me to figure out where to set my stop based on entry, but you could see it just gapped to that 200 and just took off. So in the pre-market, I was watching it and almost took a trade. You could see there's a lot of heavy movement, a lot of volume. And then once we got close to 9:30, I put a little arrow here. I thought, look, this little jump here broke the pre-market high. So I said, maybe that's a good place to get in. I'm glad I didn't actually, because I would have gotten in around 36.62. And even this little dip right here went all the way down to 36.34. So that was almost 30 cents. My stop definitely would have gotten touched because I was going to keep it tight. But then look what happened when it got to the open. This first 1 minute candle was like $1. It's an entire dollar of movement basically, and then it just took off from there. Could have gotten in with the opening range break of that first 1 minute open at 37.51. Maybe set your stop below the top of that first 1 minute the 1 minute candle. That would have set you up nicely. 37.51. It went all the way up to about 38.97, so over $1, and then it just kept moving up a little bit more. So it was a tough one. I wish I had taken it, but I'm not going to beat myself up over that one. I will beat myself up over what happened with me in QGEN. So I've traded QGEN before, and I liked the 1 minute movement here. So QGEN was on my radar because it did have some movement in the pre-market, and when you look at the 1 minute chart, when you look at the daily chart, it had gapped up from 2 days before, but then couldn't break through the 1 minute. So it had a down day, and it's been kind of moving down over the last few weeks, even though it's been, prior to that, it had kind of gapped down and then started to try and climb its way back up to the 200 day. So I wasn't quite sure what was going to happen today. I just figured it might be a good movement day. Had this moving average below the 20 SMA. So had my eye on it. 1 minute chart, I saw this dip. I was looking to go short here because I thought it wasn't going to break the VWAP, but I was only going to go short once it got back down to the low of the day around 34.88, and I would have set my stop above the whole number and VWAP around 35.0 something, basically give myself a little room. But it never did that, and then it did this, and I said, when you see this break of VWAP with a big green candle, not a ton of volume there, but big enough of a gap or enough of a break. Usually that tends to mean that the stock is going to start moving, at least in the short term, in that same direction. So you can get at least a little scalp out of it. Well, I got in at 35.0. What did I get in at? 35.08. Got in at 35.08. Couldn't break that 200 moving average. Got a little nervous here. My stop was about 34.96 area. So it came back to VWAP, held it, but then broke it again, got nervous, and then it came back up. Now, this should have told me right here, trying to break VWAP but kept coming back, that it wasn't going to be a short, that it was possibly going to keep moving up, because the sellers tried to bring it down, they couldn't, and it came back. I got nervous. I said, you know what? I was watching my P&L go down as it was dropping below my entry, regaining it, came back to my entry, then dropped again. That roller coaster, that emotion got to me, and as soon as it got back above my entry, I got out at 35.09. Literally made with commission like pocket change. So a $1 gain or 1 cent gain, and it was just unfortunate because when you watch what happened, that's where it took off. I got out here, should have stayed, and then it went all the way up to my 2R, my 3R, and then eventually later in the day came back down eventually at some point back to VWAP. But then look what happened. Still, same thing as earlier in the day. Trying to break VWAP, can't, comes back up again, and then shoots up. And now it had something happened here. I'm probably checked the news, but I did have earnings today. Maybe it did have earnings today, and it was in the middle of the day for whatever it was. I'm not sure why it moved the way it did at 1 o'clock, but it had a price spike. Maybe it was earnings today in the middle of the day. That's an odd one. Anyway, Now look at it. It went all the way up to $36. I got in at 35.08, almost a whole dollar move. So really disappointed in that one, because if I just held on here, I would have had a nice little move up to my 3R almost. And then if I held throughout the whole day, I would have had a move up to, who knows, God, all the way up to 36. So just misplayed it. I have to stop doing that, because the last couple of months, as I'm playing more stocks in the first half an hour, 15 minutes usually. This one I didn't take until 9:55, but focusing on these on the 1 minute chart, these stocks earlier in the day, I've had a lot of success. So I need to be more confident in this trading plan that I have, which is tough. That's what day trading is. Emotion is huge in day trading, and it's overcoming that is usually the hardest part for a lot of new day traders. And although I'm not really that new, as far as doing this for a living and investing bigger positions in my trades, I am kind of new. So I'm still trying to master that. It's unfortunate what happened. I missed out on this one. So, but again, this was another win in terms of my trading plan. If I had just stuck to my plan, stayed in here, I could have just edged my stop up right to the bottom of this little area where it dipped down this last time, and I didn't do that. So big loss there. Big, not loss, big missed opportunity. So later in the day, I was looking for something to kind of get that bad taste out of my mouth, and I will show you the other stock that I took, which was the other trade that I took, which was GSK. Now the reason I took this was because it was in my watch list from yesterday. I was looking for a possible continuation down, because when you look at the daily candles, you can see that yesterday, big drop, right? Big drop down from the day before, 47, gap down to 46, and then fell down to 45 area. So I was looking for a continuation down, because look at down here, you got the 200 moving average. Looking for it to maybe make a move down to that. And in the case that it has a bounce, could have a recovery, but it was gapping in the pre-market. So I was watching it ever since the move yesterday. I was watching it all day today. So when it got to a point where you saw a little bit of a cross here, a possible bounce area, you can see here on the VWAP, down day, back up through VWAP, holding it, right? And then moving. So I got in at around 30, what was my entry? 43.82, right here, 43.82. And I also like this cross of the 8 EMA and the 20 SMA. And those cross, a lot of times, it means a change in direction for the stock. Now you had that coupled with a break of VWAP and a hold of VWAP. Two reasons to get in. Breaking VWAP and the 820 cross. Plus this is a stock that has potential to move because of how much it's been gapping the last couple of days. So I got in at 43.82, and I had a couple big green candles up. I took out less than half my shares at 43.94, 12-cent gain on about 40% of my shares at 43.94, and then it just kept going green, kept moving up, and it was distancing itself from this 8 EMA a little bit too much for my liking. I wasn't sure if it was going to eventually hit my target, so I took out the rest of my shares at 44.04. So a 22-cent gain on the remaining shares. So 12-cent gain, then 22-cent gain. So I never really waited till it hit my 44.09 mark here, which would have been my 2R. But then you see it never hit it, and it shied away. Came back to the 8 EMA, held it, and then hit it. So again, this was still a decent trade as far as partialing out and making some money off of it as it kind of surged here. But if I had held on a little longer, I would have at least hit my 2R, which really, after what I did the trade earlier today, I should have been doing. I should have been sticking to my rules. But still a decent trade. Got a 12-cent gain on 40% of my shares, and the remaining shares I got about a 22-cent gain. So you can see here it's still holding 8 EMA on the 15-minute chart. You can see it's still above the 10 EMA, still moving nice. So it could be a stock that continues up even more. And then when you look at the daily chart, it could just be a nice hammer. If it continues up a little bit more, stay green. I don't know. I will be watching it tomorrow too, because you can see how much it's gapped the last 2 days. It could make a move back up tomorrow, or it could gap down closer to the 200. So we'll see. But yeah, so those are my trades. Couldn't get Twitter. Missed out on the Twitter craze today. If you got a hold of that, good job. Let me know how you traded it. I'm always interested to see how other people trade. So if you traded Twitter, please let me know what you did. I'd love to see it. And good luck. And if you're interested in trade ideas, check the description of this video. You can sign up, click the links to take you there. It's definitely worth it if you're going to be day trading. It's can't really do it without trade ideas. I would not find any of the stocks that I'm trading today without them. So good luck, and I will hopefully make a video tomorrow on my trades.